things. And of course, the very first way he does that is the conscience, the born again conscience. Like the example I gave before. If you get born again, but you're living with your girlfriend, and as you're driving home from getting born again, you're happy, you're joyous, you're free. All of a sudden, like a 5-alarm fire, your conscience goes crazy because you realize, I'm driving home to my live-in girlfriend, but I cannot do that anymore. I'm not that same guy. I am not a sinner anymore. And that conscience is the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus in you that freed you from the law of sin and death, as I talked about in weeks past, that you're not the Romans 7 guy. If you think the Romans 7 guy struggling with sin to where he tries to do good, and the more he tries to do good, the more he finds out he can't do good, so therefore he realizes it's not me, but it's sin in me, that's not you if you're born again. If you think that's you as a Christian, how are you ever going to be free of sin? Because it's written in the Word that you're not free. So that's not a Christian. Paul is putting himself in the shoes of a Jewish person under the law who is spiritually dead, just as dead as a Gentile. And he's trying to keep the law that God gave that says, thou shalt not lust. You shall not lust after your neighbor's wife, your neighbor's goods, anything like that. So he says, okay, God, I love you. I'm going to try and do that. I shall not lust. But then he immediately finds out the more he tries not to do it, the more he does it. And then therefore he's found out that it's not him, it's sin that dwells in him. And God then, proving in a court of law, so to speak, that you are a sinner, takes all that sin and pours it on Jesus Christ. And then by the grace of God, you go free, which then is the switch to Romans 8. Oh my gosh, therefore there is now no condemnation to them who are in Christ Jesus, who walk after the law of the Spirit of life. The no condemnation is, I am not that Romans 7 guy anymore who's stuck always trying to keep a law he can't keep, and therefore he's always condemned. He's always condemned to fail, and he's always condemned to hell. He's always condemned as a sinner. And then as long as he lives on this earth, he's always condemned to get up the next day and try again to keep it and find out he can't keep it and therefore be condemned. That's what the law does. The law has two purposes. One, it makes the crime of murder that you'll be killed, so therefore it dissuades you from murdering someone. It's like, I may want to be mad enough to kill somebody, but if they're going to throw me in jail forever, or if they're going to kill me if I kill somebody else, that takes away my desire to kill. So the law keeps people in check. And the other reason for the law, and the most important reason, is it is a court of law that proves you are a sinner. Because God gave you a law and told you to keep it, and you couldn't keep it, therefore it proved you're a sinner. So the curse of the law, Galatians chapter 3, the curse of the law is that you cannot keep the law. And Jesus, of course, became that curse and then born you again and gave you the ability to keep the righteousness of the law, which means now you have a conscience, you have a law, there's a new sheriff in town, you're a new creature.